support Congressman Trent Franks, Arizona Representative of District 2.
As his constituent, I feel that he represents my beliefs and viewpoints remarkably well.
Trent Franks wants to take this country in the direction I think we should be headed,
which is towards a more positive and prosperous future,
using a fiscally conservative approach and Christian values. On August 20th, Trent Franks appeared at the 3rd Annual Mohave County Republican Picnic. The topic of the day was, "Why am I Republican?"
His speech was funny, insightful, and intelligent
on what Republicans should do to take back America. The following clip is his address to the audience.
United States Congressman Trent Franks, representing Arizona 2nd District.
Well, I'm so glad to see all of you here today. I mean, you know, this is not my first rodeo, as you might say. I've had the chance to be up here for a number of years, and it's always feels a little bit like coming home. There's no place in my district that is more committed and more supportive of my work in the Congress, and I can't express to you how deeply grateful I am. Especially, you know, I don't know what this commission is going to do. We don't know what the districts are going to look like. But this is the most supportive part of my district, and I want you to know I love absolutely every one of you. I'm very grateful for all that you've been to me, and I hope that I continue to get to serve you and to represent you in Congress. Only time will tell, but we'll see what this commission does. Let me suggest to you that with all of the challenges that we face, with all of the economic issues that are coming up on us, with all the constitutional issues, with all the national security challenges that we face, I believe we're in some ways in some of the biggest trouble that we've been in since our wars. And everyone here knows that if Barack Obama is reelected, we have 3 challenges that could see this country go into inexorable decline, that will change everything that America is, and it will mean that our children will grow up in a different place. The first one, of course, is the economic challenges. This president, as Jeff said, has never held a real job in that he's never been in any sort of a business situation where he was in charge of creating jobs. Somebody said it this way. They said, you know, a recession is when someone else loses their job. A depression is when you lose your own job. And a recovery is when Barack Obama loses his. I truly believe that of all the things that we do in this place, that if there's any of us that know anyone in these swing states, in Ohio, Florida, any of these swing states, I hope before the weekend's out that you call them and try to motivate them to do everything that they can to not only support the right Republican in the primary, but to make sure when this primary is over that we do everything that's humanly possible to see Barack Obama defeated in the next election. You know, I'm reminded, with all the things that we talk about, I'm reminded that when the Great Depression did come, we were sort of right toward the end of it, and somebody, I think her name was Kate Smith, was a lady that used to come on the radio quite a bit, and she started singing "God Bless America." And it woke up the whole country. I mean, everybody was aware that even with all the trouble that we're in, that God was still ahead of it all. And they began to make a turn in the right direction. And they were facing World War II. I mean, everything in the world was on top of these people, and yet they had the understanding that God was still ahead of everything, and that they were going to prevail, and they did. So I want you to know that I believe with all the challenges that we have, that we are going to prevail. I truly believe that. But just as they did, we absolutely must respond in this moment. Somebody says, you know, that in times of great crisis, you don't rise to meet the occasion as much as you default to your level of preparedness. Somehow we've got to reach inside ourselves and know that if we don't do well in the next election, if we don't take over the Senate, that's a very, very important thing, but if we don't change the White House, we will see 3 things that could be devastating in our country. We will see financial disintegration that could, again, demean our country, diminish it in ways that we never have seen before. We will see a major crisis in national security. We will see Iran gain nuclear weapons. We will step into the shadow of nuclear terrorism. Things will change dramatically. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we could see the abrogation of the United States Constitution by the justices that Barack Obama will put on the Supreme Court. Just earlier this year, I was privileged to see a bill that I wrote 16 years ago upheld in the U.S. Supreme Court, but it should have been 9-0. It was 5-4. And that meant 4 justices were willing to say every dollar in your pocket before you fill out your tax return was public money. That's how close we are to the abyss. And so I guess it's sort of a paradox here in closing. We're facing the greatest challenges that we've faced in this generation, without a doubt. And yet I truly believe there is hope if we realize that God still loves America and we still put Him first and we still do everything that we can within this marvelous gift of this republic that we've been given to turn things around in this next election. It is that truly vital and important. I believe we will do it, but God help us not to slack off now. Thank you all very much.